Hey, what is up guys, this is Primal Dialga, and today we're going to be recapping the entire Pokemon press conference, which is like 30 minutes of video, so this video may end up being a little bit long. So I will try to keep this video as brief as possible. I won't be analyzing what color shoes Junichi Masuda is going to be wearing, but I am going to go into things that I find interesting or something that I feel like you should hear or that you might find interesting. But without further ado, let's get into it. Also, just a heads up, I'm mainly going to be referring to people in this press conference by their last name because I'd rather mess up on just their last name rather than their first and last name, because I'm a white boy from Alabama. I don't know exactly how to pronounce a lot of these Japanese names, so I figured the less I say, the better. So the press conference was hosted by Mr. Ishihara, the president of the Pokemon Company, and basically he started out by saying this was a press conference for where the Pokemon Company was going in the coming year and beyond. He also said that the press conference was not only in Japanese and English, but was also being translated to Chinese because they are planning to roll out new projects in China in the near future. The first guest that they brought out was Matsuoka, the managing director of a company called Toho, and Toho was an investor in the Detective Pikachu project, I assume just the movie, because he mentioned the Detective Pikachu movie and said as far as Japanese IPs are concerned, Detective Pikachu is right up there with Godzilla as far as box office sales. He also said that Toho helped with the distribution of Detective Pikachu, I guess getting it into theaters, and it also looks like they're helping with the next Pokemon movie called Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. He also said that he looks forward to working with the Pokemon Company as far as movies are concerned. I feel like he doesn't mean just the anime movies, I feel like he means the Detective Pikachu follow-up movies as well. So I think he's going to help bring Pokemon onto the big screen on a regular basis. Oddly enough, Matsuoka pretty much said, yeah, I'm not supposed to be promoting the Godzilla movie, but I hope that you go see the movie when it comes out in theaters in the next couple days. Right after he said that, Ishihara was like, well, thank you very much for mentioning that thing that has nothing to do with Pokemon. So I feel like he may have gotten in a little bit of trouble for saying that, but I mean, it stayed in the video, so. Next, Ishihara talks about Detective Pikachu, the 3DS game, and he says that it ended on a cliffhanger, which I didn't know even though I have the game. I haven't played it all the way through, I just played the demo. But he said the conclusion to Detective Pikachu is going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. So I'm guessing there's going to be Detective Pikachu 2, and it's going to be on the Switch. But he said that it is a different take on the ending from the movie. It might be similar or it might be completely different, but he just said that it's different. But the fun thing is, he didn't mention a release date at all, he just said it was coming to the Switch, and then he moved on to something else. The something else that he goes into is introducing Uego, who is the president of the Pokemon Center Company, and he announces that there's going to be a new shopping center in the Shibuya district of Tokyo, and this shopping center is called Parco Shibuya, but in this shopping center they're going to be opening a really cool Pokemon Center store. And then they show a quick fly-through video about how the interior is going to look in the Pokemon Center. And at the entrance of the Pokemon Center, there's a Mewtwo that's in one of those cylinders that Team Rocket had it in the first movie. But anyway, it's standing like this, but then it moves and it puts its hand up and its hand glows, kind of like does the little Iron Man glowy hand thing. But anyway, it's pretty cool. It's a moving statue. But basically they were saying that they wanted this to be one of the best Pokemon centers. They wanted to make it pretty much a tourist destination or just a destination for Pokemon fans in general. They also said that there's plans to open a Nintendo Tokyo store in that same Shibuya Parco shopping center. So there's not only going to be a Pokemon Center, a state-of-the-art Pokemon Center, but there's also going to be a Nintendo Tokyo store. The next person that they introduce is Ethan Wong, who is the vice president and head of game publishing at NetEase Games. Apparently NetEase Games is the second largest game developer in the world. He also said that 4 of the 10 most popular mobile games in China are made by NetEase. He basically says that NetEase Games is going to be releasing a beefed up version of Pokemon Quest in China. It's basically the exact same game, but they've added PvP and social systems. I don't know what social system means, but they said that there's been already 1.7 million pre-registrations for the game. And finally, he says that they plan to release more interesting Pokemon games into China, which means China's getting Sinnoh remakes before we do! That was a joke. Next, we move on to a guy that I actually know, Junichi Masuda, who's the managing director of Game Freak. Junichi Masuda talks about how Pokemon over the years have become irreplaceable, and says that basically, if you had a Pokemon that was in a very old Pokemon game, and you've moved it all the way up to one of your 3DS titles, it's kind of stuck there. So he announced Pokemon Home, which is a cloud-based service that allows you to send Pokemon from Pokemon Bank to Pokemon Home, from one of the Let's Go games to Pokemon Home, and from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Home. And it shows on the chart that Pokemon Sword and Shield are the only games that allow you to freely move Pokemon to and from Pokemon Home. One thing that I found really interesting about this is he said that you can trade Pokemon wherever you are as long as you have your smartphone. So with it, you're going to be able to trade online, you're going to be able to trade with friends locally, and it also says that you're going to be able to trade in a group of friends. I don't know exactly how that last part will work, but it also said that there will be a launch date of early 2020, so almost a year until it releases. Next, it goes back to Mr. Ishihara and they play a short trailer, and after then he talks about how Pokemon Go has made walking into a form of entertainment, and he said that their next challenge is to make sleeping entertaining. So he said that they're developing a game called Pokemon Sleep, and in this game your time sleeping affects the gameplay, but it said that they're doing this in collaboration with Select Button, which is the company that made Magikarp Jump. He said that he wants it to be something that you look forward to waking up to, which at the moment I don't really resonate with because making this video is 1:35 in the morning, so I don't even know if I'm gonna sleep today. The next person that they introduce is Mr. Maruyama, and he's with Nintendo in the hardware development group, and he introduced a new device which looks kind of like an oversized Pokewalker, but it's called the Pokemon Go Plus Plus, which I hate that name. And as much as I hate the name, it kind of makes sense. The Pokemon Go Plus Plus acts exactly like a Pokemon Go Plus, in which the LED light in the middle lights up when you're near a Pokestop, but also you put it on your bed while you're sleeping, and it says it tracks simple information on your sleeping pattern, which is sent to your smartphone through Bluetooth. So it kind of does both. It tracks your walking information and it also tracks your sleeping information. The next person they introduced is the CEO of Niantic, John Hanke, and he says a whole bunch of nothing. He basically says that they're going to be adding some sort of sleeping, tracking, whatever to Pokemon Go, but he says nothing about it or when it would be released. But he does say that there's a bunch of sleeping Snorlax in Pokemon Go, and that if you encounter one, you need to go ahead and catch it, otherwise if it wakes up it might run away, and that's pretty much it. And the moment we've all been waiting for, me being right. I was pretty sure that they were going to be announcing the new mobile game that was being developed by DNA, because yours truly made a video about how there was going to be a new Pokemon mobile game that would be released within this next fiscal year, which goes into March 2020, and I knew that last year's Pokemon conference they announced Pokemon Quest and it was released that same day, so I figured it'd be a good time to announce a new Pokemon mobile game. So they said in the press conference that this game is going to contain all the past trainers from the past games, and they're also going to have their partner Pokemon as well. This game is called Pokemon Masters, and it's coming out for iOS and Android sometime within 2019. They said they're going to release more information about it next month in June. This game looks interesting, but also a little bit weird. At some point, Brock uses a move where he does a pose like, "Huh!" and his shirt just disappears. And he's actually surprisingly ripped, but anyway, the final thing they mentioned was Pokemon shirts. All of the presenters were apparently wearing a shirt from Pokemon shirts, and they have designs for all of the original 151 Pokemon. They said it's currently only available in select Asian regions, but they plan to roll it out to North America and Europe fairly soon. They also said more details are to come. But yeah, a lot of interesting stuff came from just this 30-minute Pokemon press conference. This isn't even the whole thing. They're going to do a Pokemon Direct next week on June 5th, which is a Wednesday, I believe. So that's going to be a whole nother thing about Pokemon information, but I believe that one's going to be centered around Pokemon Sword and Shield, because we still don't have a whole lot of details about that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter at PrimalDialgaYT, or you can also subscribe to me on iFunny. My name is Dialga, and I'll see you guys in the next video.